And only once has a leader in 1998, Mark McGwire, finished the season as the home run king. Does that mean Bonds will be overtaken by Luis Gonzalez or Sammy Sosa? That remains to be seen. And that's why we have the best job in the world, because we get to bring it to you every single night. The Home Run Derby is coming up next with Rick Sutcliffe, Doug Showalter, Harold Reynolds, Carl Ramich. Enjoy.
The following is an exclusive presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Sends it back. Sends it back.
You pull that cage away and everybody's just focused on you hitting a home run.
So many great players are sitting around.
And you kind of feel like you're in an island all by yourself out there.
You're the center of attention.
First base side, third base side, all the fans.
That pressure starts to mount up.
He's done it! He's killing the ball.
There's a certain spot on this bat that if you hit it, the ball's going to go a long way.
You hit the ball, you don't feel it come off the bat, and you know you got it.
To see it go off your bat and carrying over the wall.
It's like perfection for like 2 seconds.
It's a great feeling in the world.
Luis Gonzalez.
He's an incredible force in this game now.
Absolutely amazing.
Todd Helton.
One of the pure hitters in the game that you're going to see.
Sammy Sosa.
The Dominican Flash.
He always does an encore for everything he does.
Barry Bonds.
When it's all said and done, he'll be one of the greatest players ever played this game.
Hey, baby, you were the man.
Tonight, baseball's greatest sluggers are in the great Northwest, hitting them high in their quest for the title. Home Run Derby champion. Who will put the home run balls into orbit? Well, we're at the right location, the Space Needle, and all of Seattle on a beautiful late afternoon. And fittingly, at Safeco Field, the home of the team with the best record in the majors, the Seattle Mariners, the roof is off. Can any of these sluggers, the 8 of them, put them over the roof? Over 46,000 have packed their way into Safeco Field to see who will win the Century 21 Home Run Derby for the year 2001 in our own Space Odyssey. Barry Bonds with his 39 home runs, the most ever of anyone at the All-Star break. He's in it. Luis Gonzalez with his 35 home runs, one of the best seasons ever at the halfway mark. Sammy Sosa won the crown last year in this derby. He's in it. And Todd Helton, it's a loaded National League. The American League has the MVP from last year, Giambi. Their home run champ, Troy Glaus. Bret Boone, the hometown hero, one of many of them for the Mariners, and a hometown hero turned division rival, Alex Rodriguez. He's in this as well. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Berman. So glad you could join us. Ever since Babe Ruth started clubbing them out for the New York Yankees, the long ball has been, well, maybe the most persuasive argument to follow baseball day in, day out. And as we speak of Babe Ruth, we join our own Babe Ruth. Joe Morgan is with us, Hall of Famer Joe Morgan. And Joe, this is something that everybody, fans of all ages, and the players look forward to. And what a great setting we have here.
Well, this is a great ballpark, and like you said, a perfect setting, a perfect day. And the long ball, chicks dig the long ball.
Well, guys dig the long ball, too. Barry Bonds has hit more than anybody else. The record had been 37 by Mark McGwire in his record-setting year at 70 just 3 years ago, and by Reggie Jackson, young Reggie of the Oakland A's. Barry hadn't hit one for 13 days. So opposite, well, sometimes home run hitters say, this is going to get me out of my rhythm. Maybe this home run derby will get him back in his rhythm. Do you buy that?
Yeah, I think that's a good point because he'll be able to relax. There's been a lot of pressure on Barry to try to get 40 before the break. He'll be able to relax here, get his groove back, and just have fun with it. But I say Luis Gonzalez, I mean, he's the guy that's having another fantastic year. In fact, Gonzalez is to Bonds what Sammy Sosa was to McGwire in his great year. So Gonzalez, to me, is having maybe the best year of anyone in the league right now.
And you know, one of the most fun things about us doing the home run derby, we get to say hello to an old, well, not an old friend, but a longtime friend, the catcher for the National League, the New York Mets, Mike Piazza. We missed you last year. I think of all the things you accomplished last year, Mets in the World Series, the great hitting you did, passing Joe Morgan on the all-time home run list last year with his 268. Had to rank big, huh?
I know I'm on fire now, passing Joe.
Well, look, you've been not a villain, maybe in Los Angeles when you've come back where your first major name, but you get booed as the big hitter on the Mets when you go into other parts. Alex Rodriguez has had 2 rough series here as a member of the Texas Rangers, and here he is back in Seattle. What goes through your head when you get booed like that? Do you want to do better? Do you block it out? Do you get annoyed? How will he handle it, do you think?
Well, I think you go through the emotional spectrum. I think at first you're angry and get a little frustrated, and then you try to use that and channel it to improve your play and elevate your game a little bit. But A-Rod is so talented, and as I said, it's difficult to come back to the team that you broke in with, but he's so talented that I think there's no time at all before he's going to be playing his best ball here.
Maybe he'll unleash here. Who knows? I know you and I like Barry Bonds. I know, Joe, you're always a Sosa guy. And I will say this, that 50 years ago, speaking of home runs, maybe the most famous home run was ever hit. The shot heard round the world, October 3rd, 1951. Bobby Thompson off Ralph Franken. Do you remember Game 3 of the National League playoff when the Giants were down 4-2 and Thompson hit a 3-run homer and the Giants win the pennant? Well, there's Ralph Franken and there's Bobby Thompson fittingly on the field 50 years later to together throw out the ceremonial first pitch.
I think I can reach you.
And with apologies to the late Russ Hodges, and they're going crazy. They're going crazy. Whoa! The home run derby in just a moment.
He's done it! He's killing the ball. I only drop the hotness. Don't see haters tell them suckers can't stop this. Ain't nobody in the game who can stop this.
ESPN's presentation of the 2001 Century 21 Home Run Derby is brought to you by Century 21, the official real estate organization of Major League Baseball, and in part by Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Are you ready for a cold one? And by MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Now, with a batting order for tonight's Century 21 Home Run Derby, please join your host, Chris Berman.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, are you ready for some long ball? I thought so. Welcome to Safeco Field, the home of the team with the best record in the major leagues, the Seattle Mariners. We thought you might have noticed that too. And welcome to the Century 21 Home Run Derby. Much anticipated event every year at the All-Star Game. We will crown a champion. Whoever ends up with the most back-backs will win. 4 men from each league will rotate from league to league, hitting in the following order. Leading off for the visiting National League from the Colorado Rockies. 405 total bases last year, one of just 5 men to do it in the last 50 years. Oh, by the way, he won the batting title, hitting .372, and the RBI crown at 147. 26 homers at the break. Please say hello to the Rockies' Todd, Highway to Helton. From the Oakland A's, leading off for the American League, also at first base, he's the AL MVP from a year ago. Leading the A's to the postseason with a 43-homer, 137 RBI campaign. With 19 homers at the break, say hello to Jason Giambi.
Big Papa. We're gonna make a mockery of this place again.
Plays right field for the Chicago Cubs. His 2-year assault on the home run record and duel with Mark McGwire are now part of baseball lore. 66 homers in '98, 63 homers in '99, 50 last year to lead the majors. Now a member of the 400 home run club, 29 this year, from the Chicago Cubs, Sammy "Say It Ain't Sosa." Last year, he became the first Angel to hit 40 home runs in a season when he hit 47 to, oh, by the way, lead the American League. Also set a record for American League third baseman with most home runs in a single season. With 22 home runs at the break, please welcome from the Anaheim Angels, Troy Duck Under Glaus. Hitting third for the National League, very simply, he's having one of the best seasons at the plate ever. 13 homers in April, tied the Major League record held by a guy who played a little ball here in Seattle named Griffey. 86 RBIs at the break, lead the majors. He has 35 home runs. Left field for the Arizona Diamondbacks, he has been going Gonzo. Say hello to Luis Speedy Gonzalez. One of the reasons the Mariners are 63-24. He's proof that you can come home again. He began his pro career in the early 90s here in Seattle. And boy, has he come back in a big way. 84 RBIs tied for the American League. 22 homers from your Seattle Mariners, Bret, Boone.
Go, boy. Welcome home, buddy. They love you here.
Gonzo, that right there.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. It's pretty good.
This man has been the talk of baseball, but that's nothing new for the three-time MVP in the National League. This year, he became only the 17th man in the history of Major League Baseball to have 500 career home runs. In the process, moving up the list, passing Hall of Famers Eddie Murray, Mel Ott, Eddie Matthews, Ernie Banks, Ted Williams, and Willie McCovey. Pretty good, huh? He now has 533 home runs. His 39 at the break, the most ever in Major League Baseball. Left fielder for the San Francisco Giants, Barry U.S. Bonds. There is a rumor going around that he no longer plays for the Mariners, but while he was here, he had 3 straight years of 40 home runs. He won the batting title in '96, hitting .358. Okay, he plays for Texas now. Then give him a break. Welcome back to Seattle, Alex Rodriguez. Ladies and gentlemen, your Century 21 Home Run Derby participants, let the games begin. Well then, little out of breath here, boys. Joe Morgan, Mike Piazza, I'm a little out of breath, so you know, man, you know what? The Seattle fans, it's as if, okay, we've let it go. It was a nice reception for A-Rod, wasn't it, fellas?
Well, I thought it was great because a lot of his former teammates were there kind of, you know, urging the crowd on, and the crowd gave him a great ovation.
tremendous welcome. It was really nice. And as you said, it's just always nice because I think when it comes right down to it, an event like this is just baseball.
Right.
And you know what? For 2 days, he plays for their team, the American League.
Absolutely.
He's homespun. And although Safeco Field's only be open for about 2 years, he has more homers here than anyone else. He knows that it's 331 down the line, 327 to right field, 405 to center. But look at how deep the alleys are, 390 and 387. Mike, you took batting practice with the National League. It's warm, but it's a tough park to hit it out. What were your first impressions of it?
Well, I think as most parks here, roof open, the wind's blowing pretty well, I think out to right. I saw left-handers hitting the ball pretty well up into the seats. But as Joe knows, anywhere, any ballpark, you still got to hit it to get it out. If you hit it on the barrel here.
Well, the big guys, if they hit it on the barrel, it'll go anywhere.
It's going to go.
Well, these people right here are hoping that they can hit it on the barrel. These 8 individuals are the regional winners of the Century 21 Home Run Derby sweepstakes. Each winner has been randomly paired with one of the sluggers in tonight's contest. The lucky person paired with the winner of this year's Derby will win $250,000 towards the purchase of a new home. Last year, Sammy Sosa won it. He won a new house for Dennis Orbadal. Dennis moved into his new home in Morris, Minnesota on December 12th in time for Christmas. So Christmas in July for one of these folks down on the field, which is nice.
I got an extra lamp if anybody needs it.
Now, there are 2 other things we should tell you about. There are $2 million signs. This is in right field. Now, this is going to be pretty difficult. All right? The one in left center is 452 feet from home plate, 27 feet high. Now, you could get there. The one on right is 453 and 63 feet high. I don't know if even the Babe would get to that one. Maybe little Joe could.
Some of these guys may be able to get there. Babe may not have been able to do it.
What's up? Good, how are you?
Well, always polite Todd Helton will lead it off, huh? How's it going? How's your family? Well, this is fun. I mean, face it, this is the first time you know a lot of these players, Mike, and you haven't seen them all year if you're in the other league.
No, absolutely. And the way the schedule is this year as well, you don't get to see these guys come in 2 or 3 times, usually in your own division.
Although it is interesting to note that 7 of the 8 participants are Western Division players from the various leagues. Only Sammy is not.
Yeah.
So they have played against most of them. And so Todd Helton with 405 total bases last year, which is a staggering number.
Ball flies crispy in the West.
Yeah, especially in Colorado, right? Denver air.
Now we're a little closer to sea level here, and we should go over the rules. That any ball swung at and not over the fence for a home run is an out. It could be a 404-foot snorter off the center field fence, or it could be a little dribbler back to the mound, but they're all outs. You get 10 outs, and the top 4 of the 8 will move on to the second round, and then we'll seed 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. So that's what we're looking at here.
Todd's hitting the ball hard. Give a little top spin. It's a tough shadow too, Joe. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that makes it a little more difficult when the pitcher's in the sunlight and the batter's box in the dark. It's gonna be, hey, just think you have to face Randy Johnson or somebody.
Yeah, what time is
90
it?
miles an hour.
Well, this is Jeff Matuzis, the batting practice pitcher of Arizona. You know, that's right. This is not. Let's see, we've had it in prime time in Colorado, but then we went east the last 2 years, so this is our first one. And is it back far enough? Hey!
Just think tomorrow, Mike, you're hitting 6, so about 10 minutes from now, you'll be hitting.
Oh, that's nice.
That's right.
Oh.
He's way out in front of that one. I won the center. He got out here pretty well.
There is a little bit of a wind from left to right. So if you can get it right down the line, and I talked to Jason Giambi, who, of course, at least plays here often as a visitor, and he said if we can see a shot of the right field fence from the right of the Boeing sign, from like straightaway right field over, that's really whatever power alley there is here on a day like today.
Right there.
Right there is where Helton is gone. Go! He beef jerkies it off the first facade.
You like to get that, you find that wind channel. You call it the magic carpet.
Oh. It's gone if it stays fair, but it will not. And so Todd is down to 3 outs left.
Mike, I know you haven't had a lot of success in these tournaments before, but what are you trying to do? You're just trying to get a rhythm, aren't you? Just find that groove, then you may hit 5 or 6 in a row.
Exactly.
Center field. Oh, that's a tough out to get off the center field wall. Well, do you think Todd Helton made the right move, Joe and Mike, that he was a quarterback at Tennessee, got hurt a little bit, and then they got this kid named Peyton Manning. He said, you know what, I think we'll do some baseball. Think that was a good move?
I think it turned out pretty well for him.
Yeah, not bad. Although in this one, just 2 home runs. And he's such a great line drive hitter, isn't he? He's with Harold Reynolds. Harold, welcome.
All right, thank you. Todd, you're the first guy, you're the guinea pig. How tough is it to be the first hitter in this competition?
It's pretty tough. Being out there without a screen, it's a little nerve-wracking. But I hit some balls good, and they did go out.
Yeah, well, obviously it's not Colorado, huh? Back to you up there, Boomer.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, Harold. Yeah, let's see, mile high to exact sea level. I think we lost somewhere about 5,280 feet.
That ball's going out anywhere, though.
He's such a good player, but home runs, not so far. Jason Giambi, the AL MVP from a year ago, will be up when we come back to Seattle. Here in Seattle, following this home run derby, our Radio Shack Legends and Celebrity Softball game, Harold Reynolds, Kenny Mayne are your managers. A Meatloaf played in that game, and 2 out of 3 ain't bad. That would be a good batting average. Sports Center with Linda Cohn and Stuart Scott after that. Then Carl Ravitch and the gang, everyone from baseball tonight at our All-Star Gala from down on Pier 66. So it's an all-star evening here in Seattle. And it just doesn't get prettier than this. This park is unique and spectacular, huh, guys? He's pretty spectacular last year, too, huh, Jason Giambi?
Jason Giambi is definitely just looks like an offensive lineman with a bat in his hand.
You know, it's funny, Mike, we've done batter's box, we call them around the league. We did one with you, of course, and some other guys. But Giambi, watch how much he moves his head compared to a guy like yourself and some of the other hitters. It's amazing that he can hit, but he has a lot of head movement.
Yeah, usually that's not conducive to good hitting because, I mean, the ball's coming in 90+ miles an hour. And we have an expression in hitting where you want to try to slow the ball down.
Right.
And the only way to do that is keep your head still. But, you know, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Right, that's true. But anytime, like you say, you move toward the ball, you're actually speeding it up.
Exactly.
Well, this is our first, remember we talked about Barry Bonds in the Open, a home run hitter that hadn't hit him out for a while. He hadn't hit a home run in almost 2 weeks. So let's see if this gets his stroke back. Let's check that theory. He's trying for right of that Boeing sign. Does it have enough legs? Not good.
You know, as we'll emphasize again, I mean, anytime you take that cage away, it's kind of like your safety net as a hitter. It just gives you a little bit of comfort, swing it in the batter's box, and when you take it away, it's a little bit of a change.
Back down the line. There's one in the power alley, huh? Gone.
That was a rocket there. He really flogged it.
Chris, you mentioned that he hadn't hit a home run in a while. Well, part of the reason he's had a sore calf, so he's missed a few ball games as well.
But you know what, being the way he is, there was no question. He offered the opportunity. I can't wait to do it, he said. This one is well hit to right center. Back. Gone. Layup. So 2 homers with 4 outs for Jason. And now, if this stays fair, it's gone. Yes, off the pole. 3.
Off the pesky pole.
Yep.
That's Boston.
They're going to call it here off the Ken Phelps or the Bruce Bochy or Alvin Davis pole.
Oh.
This is a rainmaker. Gone.
That's a helium ball. Robin Ventura said.
Well, here's that theory. 4 in a row, guys.
He's on fire right now. He's in the groove.
Pitching to him. Speaking of all, this one is just narrow. No doubt.
Shatterproof glass.
Thank goodness. He hit it here, cafe, huh? 5 straight for Giambi. Back. Make it a 6-pack.
way to get your calamari in the cafe up there.
Oh, man.
Upper deck.
Barry and the guy was saying, look what I have to follow.
Ouch. That ball was crushed.
Oh. He's human. About those little kids that get to shag that out there.
Checks up nicely. Little Phil Mickelson, 60-degree wedge.
Yeah. You know, this one to the track, to the wall. Gone! You know, pitching is one-time Mariner catcher Dave Valley, who, well, he was, remember some of the slumps he used to go through? They used to have beers at one of the local pubs for the price of his batting average. So he went to like 149. He was the most popular player here with the Mariners at one point for a variety of reasons.
I hope he got the drink for free.
Yes, he did.
Wow.
Swannies, I think the price is.
That hurts. That's more or less like your iron shots, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Low scorchers. You've read my book, Sculling for Dollars? This is no skull. It's like yours. Look at the leverage there. Hey, this is quite a show by Jason Giambi after starting with a handful of outs.
I have to think that the ball is really traveling well to right field. I know the flags are blowing that way, but I mean, the ball is jumping out that way.
Well, this is a little more of a low one with hair on it.
Hope you have your gloves out there. You don't want to catch one in the decal.
10 homers for Giambi. My goodness.
Catch it right in the fotch.
Yes.
Be careful.
I have to tell you that.
Oh no.
This looks like it's going to reach the roof. Gone off the first facade for Giambi. Great job by Jason, who walked on to the Long Beach State baseball team. And guess what? He could walk off with the single round record, which was what, 13 by McGuire and Fenway. I don't think any of us will ever forget that.
Well, I have to tell you, you better save some.
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah, remember Mark had nothing left after that? But look at this. Back, and gone! Number 12. He started 0 for 4.
Well, that's nice to remind him.
That's true. No pressure.
Oh, there's a no-doubter. Back. That's a McGuire shot. The man that's his mentor, if you will. Oh, goodness. This is to right center. Back it goes. Almost.
Dave Valley just lobbing up grapefruits there.
He was wishing he was pitching to him, right?
Yeah.
Oh, back. Forget about it.
That was a rocket. That was a rocket right there.
460-foot rocket sets the record in this competition. And that'll do it, but not until Jason Giambi clubs out 14 home runs. What a show he put on. Harold Reynolds.
Jason, you got this place jumping. New record. You broke your best friend Mark McGwire's record. Talk to us about the roll you jumped on.
You know, Dave Valley was just laying him in there, got me in the groove, and I got my boy Barry sitting over there, so I had to put on a good show for him.
Big show for everybody. What's that like when you really get on a good groove like that and the ball's jumping off your bat?
You just feel it. You just have that timing, and he was throwing in the same spot every time and just let me get on that roll.
Well, he's on a roll. Hopefully you have enough for the next round. Boomer, back to you.
All right, Harold, so much for the shadows, so much for the straight right calf. That's a Pike Street Market shot. That's a Puget Sound shot. Pretty good, huh, boys?
Ouch. That. Rocket ball coming at you. Frank Howard used to say that.
He used to hit him. And here's A-Rod going, oh my goodness. And Jason, you know what? He couldn't wait. He was fired up to do this. Yeah. He had his game plan down.
Came in
and he certainly followed it, huh? Okay, so who could possibly bench 14? Here's a guy that might. Sammy Sosa on deck for a rocketing home run derby. Welcome back to Safeco Field. What a show by Jason Giambi with his 14 home runs. Jason Giambi, Jack Flash. Now, the stadium's only been open 2 years since they imploded the Kingdome. The longest home run hit to left field is up there, hit by Edgar Martinez against Colorado Interleague. Here's what it would take to get it on the roof, up on the roof, a song by the Drifters back in the early 60s. 67 feet, 400 feet down the line. I think that 493, 67 feet high may be a little rough, huh, boys? But if there's someone who was close to doing that last year, Mike, you were at home. But Joe, what about the show Sammy Sosa put on in Atlanta last year?
I tell you what, if he hits the balls like he did last year, one of them will clear that left field wall because they were going into upper deck there in Atlanta, and that's a long drive.
We just played the Cubs in back-to-back series, and he hit 2 balls that would just crush.
Yeah. He's starting to swing it well right now.
He's doing a little tap thing. The tap going.
Well, when the weather warms up, I mean, he always says, hey, I'm a slow starter. Since '98, he's had more second half homers than first half.
And it's the same thing too. Wrigley's. It's a rocket. Lean in. Look at that. Oh, in the front row.
That was only time for one back gone.
You hang some clothes on that one. But he just hits him as hard and as far as anybody.
Oh, man!
All he's got to do now is get a little elevation, and they will go out of here.
Yeah. Elevation optional. So Sammy has hit 2 proverbial frozen ropes.
You know, with 2 strikes, too, he really doesn't put it in play. He doesn't choke up.
That's not his idea. He doesn't have a 2-strike swing.
Choke up, put it in play. Yeah, okay, sure. I think he swings harder.
Yeah.
66, 63, and 50 the 3 years before this, and 29 at the break.
Joe, don't you think that's how the game's changed a little bit, too, where guys don't care about striking out 100 times? With 2 strikes, they're putting the same swing on the ball if it's 3-1 or 2-1.
I agree with you 100%. Guys do not choke up or just put the ball in play with 2 strikes. Like I said, they're still trying to drive it.
Yeah. And then remember, they talk about the juice ball and the small ballparks. And that's one of the things as well. Oh, my goodness.
Speaking of juice. That was Juice Newton.
Oh, the Queen of Hearts.
Oh. Man. I want him to pull one down the line like that. I guarantee you it's out of here. Out of the whole stadium.
467, that one estimated at.
467.
Dave Niehaus, the voice down there, longtime Mariner announcer, one of our favorites. You hear him in the background. Sammy now with 415 lifetime homers. Now, I know he had those 2 in really 3 big years, but he kind of snuck up. I mean, he went from 200 to 400 in a hurry. He's only the 33rd guy to hit 400 home runs.
I mean, as well, the fact that he knows he plays in a good hitter's ballpark, but when you start coming into your own as a power hitter, it just gives you more confidence, and then you see the way teams pitch you so carefully, it even gives you confidence as well. If you know they're intimidated by you at times.
That's a good point. I think a lot of hitters don't use that intimidation enough, but good hitters use that intimidation like pitchers do.
Yeah, absolutely.
They know that they're afraid of you, you know they're going to make a mistake.
And unlike last year, the Cubs were cellar dwellers. He's playing for a first-place club with leads, and you may get more pitches to hit. I mean, they can't put extra guys on when you get a lead, right? If you're behind, they pitch around you. Do you buy that?
Oh, absolutely. And you have to have the guys behind you and in front of you to give you those RBI situations that you want to make the other team have to pitch to you.
I'll tell you something, Mike. I'm watching this pitcher. He's not as easy to hit as Valley was. I mean, watch him. He's kind of slinging the ball, looks like it's even sinking a little bit. I mean, he looks like he's tough to hit. He doesn't look like your ideal batting practice pitcher.
And we've said many times before, I mean, how important that is in one of these contests.
Right. I mean, see, he's kind of slinging the ball. You see Valley put it up top and just where you could see it all the way.
Dan Roan is the pitcher.
And it's a personal choice, whatever guys enjoy. Some guys like short armors. Some guys like the guys that lay, the grapefruits in there.
And well, that is the difference. This is a short arm pitcher, whereas Valley extended, you could see it all the way.
Do you feel bad if you're supposed to be serving up grapefruits and your guy doesn't hit home runs if you're one of those guys?
It's like in the rodeo. You have to get a good bull. You don't get a good bull, you don't get a good ride.
You know what? We missed you. Of course, A-Rod did a good job pinch hitting for you, but Michael, you are indeed unique. Dan Roan is pitching like Dick Martin.
No, I'm telling you, I mean, it's not obviously he's not doing it intentionally, but I can see from here the big difference between swinging at him and swinging at Dave Valley.
7 straight outs for Sammy. He's down to 1, and now he's going to be picky.
Well, that's going to be borderline right there. Whether he's going to make the second round or not.
Just 3 homers for Sammy Sosa, last year's champ, Harold Reynolds.
Well, Sammy, while Jason Giambi is putting on his display, you were in the dugout getting your little concentration thing going. You're taking this pretty serious, huh?
Not really. I like to be concentration like that because every time you do that, you get a better result. And Jason was amazing. I'm so happy for him. I love it.
Now, you got a new workout regime, and I know this didn't wear you out, but this really can fatigue you as a player.
No, not really. ain't no reason for it.
Okay. Boomer, back to you.
All right, Harold, Sammy, I just think he was disappointed. Did he hit the balls out? Not really. He only hit 3. And the first 2 were unbelievable ropes.
They were. It was tough. I mean, Sammy, he got in rhythm last year. He just wasn't able to get into that great rhythm this year.
Well, he could get in. We'll see. The top 4 of the 8th, including Barry Bonds and Alex Rodriguez. They're still to come in round 1 of the Century 21 Home Run Derby. In Seattle, Todd Helton began with a 2-spot. Jason Giambi was incredible with 14. Sammy Sosa had an unusual tough outing with just 3. And now comes Troy Glaus. And we should tell you that this copyrighted telecast, presented by authority of the Commissioner of Baseball, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Don't forget, for the most extensive coverage of Major League Baseball, log on to MLB.com. Major League Baseball. Connect with it. What a city. Seattle. They don't like to tell you that it's like sunny like this so much in the summer. They say, don't tell everyone it's really nice up here all the time in the summer. This live view courtesy of the Budweiser.com airship. It's eye in the sky camera. Visit Budweiser.com to track the ship's tour. Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the work this afternoon. Troy Glaus. A lot of people didn't realize that he is the American League home run champion from last year with 47. He hit 1 as a DH, 46 as a third baseman, breaking the American League mark by third baseman previously held by Al Rosen, the Cleveland Indians in the 50s. So he's in the record books.
American League home run champion.
UCLA, 6'5", 225.
Good looking player.
Yeah.
All kinds of tools. Falling out of the toolbox. He's a 7 or 8 tool guy.
99 home runs. When he hits his next one, he'll be the fastest Angel to get to 100. That's currently Timmy Sammy. No Angel till Glaus hit 40 homers in a season, so he has a chance to really author himself into the Angel record books. He's pretty good fielder too. I mean, for a big guy, Joe. Huh? I mean, he's
a great athlete.
John McLaren, Mariners bench coach, who's pitching. Rip, but that'll be foul. Let's go quickly to Harold Reynolds, one of Seattle's own.
Well, Alex, I was here the first time when you came back to Seattle, and I brought some cotton swab for you earlier, but it looks like you didn't really need that. It was a nice reception. How'd that make you feel?
It made me feel good. It was a warm reception. I was very flattered, and it's a beautiful event. I mean, it's Seattle's in a wonderful thing, getting this park ready to go. The fans are excited, and Giambi put on a show. We're having fun.
Well, a lot of people were saying that you were afraid to do the home run contest because of the boos that you received the first time around. You clarify that for us?
I don't think so. I'm never scared of anything, Harold. I think more than anything, my reservation is always to have a home run derby to go against your swing. I mean, it's not really conducive to my type of swing, which is a line drive swing. I don't consider myself a home run hitter. So that, and I didn't want that to be the theme, my boos rather than Jason Giambi's home runs. That's what we all should be talking about.
All right, Boomer, back to you.
All right, Harold, A-Rod will hit last. He will be the cleanup hitter, if you will, for the American League. Meanwhile, Troy Glaus trying to get off the schneid. Michael, performances like this chased you up to the booth with us, huh?
Well, as I said, you know, it's definitely
it's different.
Yeah, it's tough, and you know, you want to make a good, you want to have a good showing. You want to get into a groove. He's a little frustrated right now. His feet are slipping, and well, you gotta have fun with it.
Even more difficult for him, Mike, because he was a league home run champion last year. A lot of pressure on him.
I remember you had, what, 2 years with a goose. I remember Tommy at Cleveland was not. Sometimes it takes a year or two to get in a groove of it, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad you did poorly because you wouldn't be hanging out with us otherwise.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
All things work out.
Exactly.
Got to stay positive.
Yeah.
Did you bring extra?
I'd be working with somebody else.
Did you bring extra hair stuff for me and Joe? Because we got to change our look.
Really? You got to go platinum. Go platinum.
Troy Glaus, Carlsbad, California, just north of San Diego. Second time an All-Star.
I was with Jimmy Rollins before the workout, and he said if he goes platinum, he look like Cisco. So,
hey, Manny has gone platinum for a while. Manny Ramirez has gone all sorts of colors.
He's done it before. I don't know. I feel a little bit of a excited.
The only problem I had, my wife doesn't like me to hang out with blondes.
Well,
so I had to tell her it was you. It's okay.
Oh, okay. All right, that's good.
How about that look of the guy rock and rolling with all the color hair for a while? No, that's not quite right.
I don't think I can go straight Rodman. That's too much trouble.
No,
it's already growing it.
Cal Ripken will have a thunderous welcome here tomorrow night. Family.
Cal's a former champion, actually, Toronto, isn't he?
He was unbelievable.
Yeah,
he wired the field like at 13 and everybody else at 4. The next day he was MVP of the All-Star game. I think he was MVP of the league. That was his year, 91.
Wow. Triple crown.
Sometime, yeah, different triple crown.
Exactly.
Oh, we need Troy Glaus to get off the schneid here. Gets under that one. Tell you what, typical of Seattle's pitching this year. John McLaren, the bench coach, is just shutting them down. I mean, they had guys, what, Tomko pitches a no-hitter and Halama pitches a perfect game in AAA. They send them down and they do that. And even their coaches are good pitchers.
Coaches are get guys out. Oh.
Yeah. I'm sure he doesn't feel well, but tomorrow he'll probably nail a couple off the wall. So a tough home run derby for Troy Glaus, but maybe, you know, It adds a little life to Sammy Sosa, perhaps moving on to the second round. But here comes Luis Gonzalez with 35 homers. Back at Seattle, halfway through the opening round, Giambi put on a show. And the door is open for the Big Four coming up. And how about the season that Luis Gonzalez has had thus far, Joe Morgan?
Well, I was talking about Mike Piazza, how we did the batter's notebook. We did one with Luis Gonzalez, and he's got some interesting thoughts.
I try to keep both eyes on the pitcher. I open up a lot more. My left foot, which is my back foot in the batter's box, is turned more towards the pitcher. So my hips are freed up a little bit more. I've always been a dive hitter that dives into the plate.
What do you think, Mike?
Well, I think it's working for him.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a little unorthodox.
Yeah, it is.
Look at this here. He has 246 total bases. Now, we don't want to project, but the record, you never see this. Babe, 457. Rogers Hornsby in the National League, 450. I mean, by that, he's over halfway there. 246 bases at the break.
I tell you what, it must have been the juice ball. One did it in 21, the next one did it in 1922.
Jeez. You're gonna rag on Babe Ruth and Rogers Hornsby.
Man,
huh?
no, I mean they did it back-to-back years.
I know.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's the toughest thing in baseball. Is everyone's always talking about, back in my day.
Yeah,
we always
right.
have today.
Well, he's certainly, if the power stream, as Giambi suggests, is right field and the way the wind is blowing, then he may, even though he's alive, 35 homers, had 13 in April, which tied Griffey's mark for the most ever in that month. This is a rainmaker. Does it stay fair? No. In Arizona, they say going Gonzo, but that one went foul for Luis.
Well, a tough start for him, but I think you could just see by the way he's hitting the ball that
solid.
It's got great plate coverage.
That's covered. It is covered above the little restaurant there, the Hit It Here Cafe.
Wow. And I think the thing about Louis is the fact that he is open and he can handle, as I said, he covers the plate very well. And when you're hitting as well as he's hitting, you don't ever think about any location on the pitch. You're just hitting the ball where it's pitched and reacting to the ball in.
And you've seen him in your league. I mean, remember early years as an Astro, then a year with the Cubs and Astros again. And what a different player, what a different hitter he's been. I mean, think of how you call pitches for him. How much has that changed?
Well, he's so, as I said, he's such a well-rounded hitter right now. And very, very tough in RBI situations. Knows how to drive and runs, and as I said, it's got that confidence right now.
He sends this one way back to right center field and gone. Kurt Schilling will start here tomorrow, or at least take a look. He's got a good picture of that one. Way up and gone.
Kurt's filming him and saying, save some for my next start.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You know, he was, Joe, do you know what his favorite team is, Luis Gonzalez? Growing up in Tampa?
Yeah.
75 Reds. Do you know anything about that team? Do you remember them?
Well, my favorite was 76, so I understand his point. But no, a lot of guys grew up in Tampa. Gary Sheffield, he was around there, and we were having spring training as well.
Luis says Pete Rose was his guy, by the way he hustled.
Pete Rose, a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Father of triplets a few years ago. He's been the happiest moment. I mean, he's been a changed person and hitter and everything. Dad, and talk about a guy that can hit to all fields. You have triplets, you better be able to hit to all fields.
But I'll tell you something else. He's one of the nicest
guys.
Absolutely.
in the whole game of baseball.
Now he hit 5 home runs after a slow start, which put Sammy Sosa in a precarious mode. Harold Reynolds.
Louis, you got off to a pretty good start, but really the story is the first half of the season you're having absolutely incredible. You're off to Triple Crown numbers. Talk to us about that real quick.
Well, it's been exciting. I mean, this is fun too. My heart's beating 1,000 times a second. But our team's been playing well. We're in first place right now, so we hope we can hang on in the second half.
All right, Louis. We'll look for you in the second round, hopefully, if that 5 stands up. Back to you, Boomer.
All right, Harold. Luis Gonzalez. Yeah, nice guys. He's proof that they do finish first. How about these swokes, guys?
I think the interesting thing about Gonzalez is that he's gotten better each year. And that happens a lot of times as you get older. And even Mike, you know, as great as you've been and all the things you've accomplished, I still think you're going to get better as you know a little bit more about yourself and a little bit more about the, you know, the batting zone.
23 homers in 98, 26 in 99, 31 in 2000, 35 already at the break. Oh, yeah, there's this team called the Mariners that's been pretty good thus far. Bret Boone's one of the reasons. He's up next. Now we are back. We have Bret Boone, Barry Bonds, and Alex Rodriguez to go in this, the first round of the Century 21 Home Run Derby. Chris Berman, Joe Morgan, Mike Piazza, and we're all here to watch the introduction of the second baseman for the Seattle Mariners, Bret Boone, who was almost past his career high in home runs at the halfway mark.
You know, it's funny, everybody thinks he just jumped up there and started hitting home runs. But he hit 19 last year, he's hit 24, 22 in the last 4 years. So, I mean, it's not like he's not capable of hitting a lot of home runs.
Yeah. Here's a guy who does not get cheated at the break.
Right, definitely doesn't get cheated.
He gets his hack.
In fact, that's one of the problems he had when he was here the first time. He was over swinging, and Lou Piniella couldn't get him to change, remember? Wow. But he has shortened his swing a lot the last couple of years. I mean, he is having a fantastic year.
And I've seen him hit the ball out to right field as well, which is another sign of how hot he is.
Ichiro has gotten a lot of publicity, rightfully so, but I think this guy's been the most valuable player on that team because he's been the guy that's driven in the key runs.
How about 84 of them at break for a second baseman, Joe?
Right. And well, they're working really well together, as we point out many times, and that's why their record is what it is. Ichiro's getting on, and Boone's driving him in.
Now, Edgar Martinez, one of many. It's drives and runs, gets on base. Mariners 63 and 24 with a 724 percentage at the break. You know, Bret Boone, they had an all-star game here in the Kingdom. And Joe, was that your last all-star you were in? I'm sure you were on the National League team in the Kingdom.
Yeah, my last all-star game was here in Seattle.
Well, that was the one that, of course, Parker. There goes Boone deep to left and gone. Parker had to throw and Mazzilli at the home run, right?
Yeah.
Mazzilli, who's here on, of course, the Yankee coaching staff. And my point is, Bret Boone was here in his 11-year-old, as his dad, Bob Boone, was a National League All-Star, and he was shagging flies during batting practice. Wow. So now here he is at the next All-Star game. Speaking of youngsters who've been around the ballpark all their life, Cal Ripken has joined us down on the field, and Cal, this thing, how about the show Jason Giambi put on, huh?
You know, I can't comment on that because I was doing the pregame interview with Fox. Sorry.
Oh, don't tell us that. Of all things, you got to tell us that.
I'd like to say that I was really long-winded, but I was with Tony Gwynn as well.
You know, there's Cal. He's like, you know, George Washington. I did chop down the cherry tree. You don't have to tell us this stuff.
Oh, you should never ask a question you don't know the answer to.
Hey, that's how you got retired, right? Guy answered that question, right?
That's it. I couldn't tell a lie.
Probably got a job lined up already there.
Yeah, I know. What does it mean to you, Cal, as Boone just goes deep? I mean, to once again be elected by the fans after all these years.
Well, it's one of those things that, you know, you try to go out and do a good job, and you try to, whoa!
There's one. There's a good job.
Second down. It's one of those things that you know that in the voting process, you know, you usually have support of your fans at home. In order to be elected to one of the positions, you have to do something else where people notice you in other ballparks. And I've always been very fortunate to have people vote for me in other ballparks and recognize, you know, some of the things that I've tried to do. So it's an indicator that you must have done something right over your career.
That one is just foul. How about the support that these fans have given the Mariners? You know what it's like to have a packed house and supporting a team, you kind of work hand in hand with your fans, don't you?
Well, this is a great ballpark. This is a great place to play. Things are going right. The chemistry is unbelievable with Seattle right now, and you merge the excitement in the ballpark from the fans with the excitement that they're playing with in between the white lines. You know, it's a pretty special package.
Cal, congratulations on everything you've done, and I know you're going to have a big finish here. We know the last 3 months will be tumultuous.
Well, I'll tell you what, the weight felt like it's been lifted off my shoulders since I made the announcement. I'm starting to relax. I'm starting to swing the bat. Got my bat speed back a little bit. I'm looking forward to having a good second half.
Well, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. Thanks, Cal.
Okay, thanks.
Keep those interviews to a minimum in the future, will you, please?
Especially with the bad guy.
Well, Bret Boone with just 3 home runs ends up fouling it back. And you don't want to put on a big show for the home folks, and you can try so hard, and maybe that's what Bret was doing. He's with Harold Reynolds. A bunch of Mariners second basemen, huh?
How exciting is it for you to be here with this crazy electric crowd and with 7 other Mariners elected to the All-Star game?
It's awesome. It's awesome. The city has been more than I ever expected, and we're having a great time, and I wish I could hit a couple more. Your nerves get to you. You're not used to hitting without a cage, but it was fun. We'll see what happens.
All right, we'll wait and see. Chris, back up to you.
All right, bunch of Mariners second basemen down there. He had Luis Soho, and I think we got everybody.
Say it ain't Soho.
So 3 puts him in a precarious spot with Sammy Sosa.
Yeah.
That's a 406-foot job by Bret Boone.
Real nice shot. Top hand. Flogged it.
Played for Lou Piniella here in the early 90s. Is stuff that maybe they didn't get along. They get along pretty well right now.
Get along when you're winning.
Yep. And he gets along. Barry Bonds, 39 home runs strong, coming up.
It's like wine, getting better with age.
Shoe-in Hall of Famer.
Hey, baby, you were the man.
Our scoreboard with Barry Bonds and A-Rod still to come. Luis Gonzalez and, of course, Jason Giambi are in. If it comes down to 4th place between Sosa and Boone, because Sammy has more homers at the break than Bret Boone, he would win the tiebreaker. So we'll see what Bonds and A-Rod do. Join us this Wednesday night at 7 for a special presentation of the Emmy Award-winning Sports Century Series. Tiger Woods. His golf ability is maybe as high as Mount Rainier. The only golfer ever to hold all 4 major titles at the same time. 28 tournaments won, including 6 majors. Get an inside look at Tiger's glory days as an amateur and his record-breaking performances as a pro. Sports Century, Tiger Woods, Wednesday night at 7 here on ESPN. And speaking of record-breaking, when the season started, Barry Bonds had 494 home runs. But now that he's hit 39, he's gone from 18th past Eddie Murray, past all those names that you saw. Mel Ott. He's passed the guys at 512 and Matthews and Banks and Covey and Williams at 521. And now with 1 more, he would tie the legendary Jimmy Fox at 534 for 10th. 3 away from Mickey Mantle. He's within Mike Schmidt. Basically, he's that's as big a company as you can get.
Yeah, and he's not done yet. He's not done yet. I think it was interesting to point out, Joe, it's like Barry, as a lot of guys recently have switched to maple bats.
Is that what that is? Okay.
And I've tried them, and I have a very large barrel on my bat, so they're not really conducive to my style of hitting. But guys like Barry choke up a little bit. It's a real dense wood, doesn't chip as much as the white ash, and obviously it's working for him. So.
Actually, he gave me a bat recently, and I looked at it. I saw it was different. I just didn't know what it was.
I mean, it's not as flexible as ash, but some guys like them. You know, it's all personal preference. Everyone hits different.
He's brought his pitcher, his batting practice pitcher, Juan Lopez, who grooves that one, and that's back.
Looked like a check in hockey off the glass.
Here's Dusty Baker. One of the coaches selected by Bobby Valentine. Dusty Baker, the manager, who has seen all this. Bond sends it way back to, oh man, it's off the facade of the upper deck.
That last swing was the way he was swinging the entire first month and a half of the season. He wasn't having much body movement, just upper body strength. He just had a very short stride.
Down the line. Just foul. Remember, it is A-Rod. See? He's serious. A-Rod is serious. He's going to enter this thing.
He's on the range, A-Rod.
He's going to enter this thing, and he wants to put on a big show.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to stay loose as well, because you sit around after regular BP.
There's a delay on the field. A fool ran out there, and then there was a fracas, and we don't need to show that. Hey, Jason Giambi made 4 outs before he hit his first home run and ended up with 14. So maybe Barry Bonds is just getting warmed up. 476-foot home run, that one off the top. That's the longest homer of the day.
Just go. I'm going to cut that guy off.
I'd like to see you grab him. You're right. Cut him off. Body check him out there.
I'm not choking up and being a. Look at that again. You know what? And they can understand a home run derby. Home run or out. No infield fly rule do you have to explain to them.
Well, this delay could help Barry and it could hurt him. He was starting to get in a groove.
How about choking up and being a member of the 500 home runs club?
Well, Ted Williams choked up, and you know a lot of people think he's the greatest hitter ever.
Do you, Joe?
Do I? Yeah, I choked up.
You think? Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only 2 outs left. The crowd maybe can spur him on here. Barry, who hadn't hit a homer in his last 13 games, but his 39 home runs, the most ever at the break. Oh, there it is. Back. A facade ball.
It's the second one that guy's dropped up there, too.
Come on, Beans. Come on, man.
Well, that automatically puts Barry in because he has 39 home runs more than Sammy, so, well, that'll help you.
Well, look at this one. Way up! He just missed the sign, didn't he?
Wow, a little short.
That's the hard sign to hit. 60-something feet. He's going to try to dead center. He's hit a lot of homers to dead center this year, hasn't he, guys?
Yeah, left center and right center has been his pet areas.
He's choking up. You know, he's right on the dish, too, and just spins on everything, keeps his head real still. Sees the ball and takes a ton of walks.
And that is gone. How about 500 home runs? Can you imagine what that would take, Mike?
Yeah, Mike will get them.
Well, you're at what, 299?
Yeah,
you're still
299.
201 away. I mean, 500 homers. It's mind-boggling, isn't it? Look out!
In your face mask.
You know what? I don't even think Patrick Waugh could have stopped that.
No. Well, that's a tribute to Barry, his consistency over the years, staying healthy. A lot of factors go into that.
Dead center field, back. Goodbye.
That ball's really hit to center field. A lot of green out there.
Starting to believe you. Maybe that Moss is tough. That new bat. I mean, the ball is just jumping off his bat.
Yeah.
So Barry Bonds, with his 7 home runs, is moved into the second round. Bret Boone will not make it. And Barry got going after a slow start with some monstrous shots, Harold.
Barry, you come up with a big 7. You've been in a few contests. How many things it's going to take to win this one?
Well, the way Jason's hit, I don't think anyone's going to catch him. But it's fun. It's great. It's great for the fans. It's great for baseball. And I'm glad to be a part of it.
Well, a big part of the season so far has been your 39 home runs. A lot of people talking about that. Has the pressure bothered you? Is it fun? What do you think about when you go to the ballpark?
Winning. That's all I want to do. I just want to win. It's a shame they got us old-timers out here. These young guys are killing me.
All right, Barry's still trying to play coy with us. Back to you, Boomer.
All right, Harold, thank you. And we should say that he doesn't have to. I mean, we clean the slate, so Giambi doesn't have a 7-home run lead on Bonds or anyone else. Look at that swing.
That was a rocket right there. Barry just with a real nice round.
Oh! Got a caught
it
3
choked him up.
times.
It choked him up. He's verklempt.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you.
So Barry Bonds will advance, and now he got a nice welcome before A-Rod will stride to the plate. Jason Giambi is in the next round with his 14. Barry Bonds with his 7 is in the next round. Luis Gonzalez with his 5 is in the next round. If Alex Rodriguez can hit 4, Sammy Sosa will not advance. If Alex ends up with 3 or less, it'll be Sosa who moves on. So again, the Seattle fans will have a chance to greet a guy who excelled is an understatement here in Seattle, and had 2 rough series in here, hitting just 1 home run in the 6 games, but he had a great reaction, I thought, in the pregame introductions. And here it is again, Alex Rodriguez back in Seattle. Good job. Well, he's not happy.
Well, can't please everybody, I guess.
He's hitting against, is that John McLaren again? Rubber arm. His old bench coach.
If I was asking for anyone, I would ask for Dave Valley. I mean, he looked like he was the easiest to hit.
Yeah.
Steve Roadcap. Not Steve Nightcap, but Steve Roadcap. Roadcap.
Yeah, Valley is like Kobe Bryant.
No, you know what Jason? You know what Jason did? He hid him in a broom closet, so no one can use him except Jason's next.
There you go. Exactly. He's tying him. He's got him locked up.
Sosa
somewhere.
on the bubble.
Well, obviously the left-handers have the edge in this contest
no
so
doubt.
far.
Well, the wind was blowing to right. It's easier to hit the ball out that way.
Sure.
Oh, there's one that's going to go out to left. Way back and gone. Roadcap is a minor league instructor that for the Mariners that pitched A-Rod many springs. Sure. So they're familiar with each other.
Well, a lot of times you bring a guy that's helped you in your career, and you give him a chance to come to the All-Star game and, you know, be a part of the festivities. So it's sometimes it's more of a reward than you're just choosing a guy that you actually hit the best.
Yes.
To get that big league buffet.
Right.
Free drinks.
You know, A-Rod back in '96 won the batting title at 358. Only Ty Cobb, Al Kaline were younger when they won a batting title in the American League.
Oh, shit, I suck.
Well, that's not totally true.
Is that the catcher?
Yeah, it must have been the catcher.
Hit it off the mask. Yeah.
And he does want to put on a big show here. Barry Bonds is moving to the next round. Certainly Jason Giambi is long since moved to the next round, and Luis Gonzalez. A-Rod gets under it. Does this have enough legs? Yes. So A-Rod needs 4 to move on to the next round. If he gets 3 or 2, Sammy Sosa will go to the next round. That's the suspense, if you will.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Looks like a DH location, isn't it?
Exactly. Sammy's smelling it. He wants to be in that second round.
Well, A-Rod does too, but he's under it. He's running out of outs. I think it was very nice. I think it was was outstanding of him to decide, you know what, let me do it. And I think that sets up a nice evening for him tomorrow night as well.
You got to have fun. I mean, you got to have fun with it. Joe and I were talking earlier. I mean, guys leave, guys get traded. It's part of the game. Unfortunately, sometimes you move on. But turn the page.
Now one out left for Alex Rodriguez. Good eye.
Sammy's ready.
All right. Got to have one you can drive. Sammy makes it. And A-Rod's a little disappointed, but you know what? He's with our Harold Reynolds.
I know you're a little disappointed you're not going to advance, but that reception really had to make you feel pretty good.
It was nice. It
sets up a pretty nice weekend for you.
It does. I mean, I'm just excited to be back and representing the American League and being able to contribute in such a wonderful weekend. And Seattle deserves everything they've gotten. They got a great team.
All right, Boomer, back to you.
All right, Harold. A-Rod could not knock Sammy Sosa out, and so now Sammy finished 4th. Jason Giambi finished 1st. It'll be Bonds against Luis Gonzalez in the other semifinal of the Home Run Derby. We have reached the second round at beautiful Safeco Field, about 6:30 local time, 9:30 in the East. And now we have head-to-head battles with the same rules, 10 outs. You can hit an infinite amount of home runs, as Giambi almost did to number 3, Luis Gonzalez against number 2, Barry Bonds. They wipe clean the slate, so they start 0-0. Now there are 4 Century 21 contestants still alive for the $250,000 home. Tommy Knapp is the man who Luis Gonzalez is batting for, and Tim Swachina, the man that Barry Bonds is trying to Swachina the ball over the floor. And then the second matchup will be Sosa and Giambi, 4-1. So the two guys with the most home runs at the break. Bonds with a record 39. The record before that, Reggie Jackson, Oakland, 1969, and Mark McGuire, 1998 with the Cardinals at 37. Frank Howard at 36 at the break once upon a time. Hondo, and then Gonzo with 35 at the break. So how about 35 versus 39? Pretty good.
The amazing thing, Mike, you go into a season, even yourself, as good a hitter as you are, first say, well, I want to hit 40 home runs, drive in 100+ runs, whatever. These guys have almost 40 home runs at the break. That's unbelievable.
It's a good year they had the first half.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember my second year, I think Matt Williams had 38-7 or 38 at the break as well.
And that was a year of the strike.
Yeah,
right?
43, and we'll never know. Luis Gonzalez. Does this have enough juice? Doesn't quite look it. It's a tough grab made out there.
Louis, not a prototypical left-handed hitter as well, because he can hit the high ball out of the ballpark. And
Bruce Jr.
Joe, I remember I was telling you earlier about what Dave Parker said, that high ball is already fence high coming in, so all you got to do is tap it out of the ballpark. The Cobra.
Well, hey, that's okay for you right-handed hitters. Yeah. Left-handed hitters like the ball down.
Sure.
This one, does it stay fair? Yes, sir. Home run. Come on, crowd.
Wake up.
This one a little more juice down low. Oh, just foul.
It's a Wimbledon crowd.
What happened here?
It's a Wimbledon crowd.
New balls, please.
Exactly.
This one, get up there. Oh, man. Missed it by that much.
The funny thing is, like Mike said, he's more of a line drive hitter, but his line drives have been going out of the ballpark this year.
Tries center field, but that's a long way to go at 405, and that'll be short. Oh. 6 outs are ready for Luis Gonzalez.
Too far.
To right center. He's trying to find the stroke that gave him 35 in the first half. 246 total bases at the break. I think that trade from Detroit to Arizona for Gonzalez for Kareem Garcia was a pretty good trade for Arizona. I think it's a good trade even if it was for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
That's good.
Gone! That's a big homer. There's 2. Maybe he can get going because you know that guy can get going. Uh-oh.
Dad, they don't have cold drinks.
They don't have cold drinks, but they need a fat pitch. Oh, this one is drinks on the house for that one. Back, and gone, and stuck in the old Bret Century 21 basket. He's going for the basket again. It's almost like Harry's butterfly net, isn't it up there?
Exactly.
Well,
basket. So maybe with some garlic.
Here's the groove, guys. Back. Gone. So standing on 2 with 1 out to go. He's now got 5. Well, those are 3 big home runs.
That last one went into the restaurant.
So Luis Gonzalez hit 5 again and clutch home runs. Harold Reynolds.
Louis, big 5 that time. You know, a lot of people are saying the left-handers have the advantage in this ballpark. After 2 rounds, what do you think?
Well, yeah, the ball's definitely carrying a little bit better to right, but my heart's still racing up there. And this is an exciting crowd out here, and it's a lot of fun for all of us to be here today.
You're still sandbagging these guys, aren't you? 35 home runs at the break, and he's sitting there worried about home runs. Back to you, Boomer.
All right, Harold, thank you. So Gonzalez is 5, and Barry Bonds needs to hit 5. And he got it going at the end, didn't he, fellas? I like it. Oh, they do all the fishing out here in Seattle. Look, it's a troll that dragged into baseball. Oh, Barry thought, I only need to hit 2 or 3 to move on. And Gonzalez hit 5. Barry Bonds needs to hit 6. Now, if they end up tied, we have a blast-off. We'll explain that later. We're not going to Cape Canaveral. Barry Bonds up next. Has hit 5 home runs in his half of the semifinal bracket. Barry Bonds, with his 39 home runs at the break, needs 6 to move on here in picturesque Seattle. A reminder that the Radio Shack Legends and Celebrities softball game comes up. Harold Reynolds, Kenny Mayne managing. Sports Center with Linda and Stu at 11. And the All-Star Gala with Carl and Peter and cast of thousands at midnight Eastern Time. A beautiful look at downtown Seattle. Barry Bonds in the first round had 7 home runs. 5 for 6 down the stretch to qualify. And here they are. Now, you know, he, of course, has peppered McCovey Cove, but he said, as we said, a lot more to center and left center this year than maybe a lot of people know. But today, the way to go is where he did. Didn't it, fellas?
Well, I think during the season he stays on the ball a little longer, and that's why he goes to center and left center. But in a home run hitting contest, I think you have to pull the ball. Your best shots are to the shortest distances.
So Gonzalez with a 5 spot. Bonds will have to get 6. Down the line.
Barry looks really focused, actually.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
He's taking this real seriously, and that's good. I mean, he's obviously locked in at the plate during the season, and he's having fun here, but very serious.
Won it in Philly. You're, I shouldn't say home park, but maybe, right? The vet.
Harry Callis.
Well, it's about time for a Callis invitation from you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Dude, pitch, swinging a drive, deep right center field, out of here. I always used to kid Tim Wallach. I say, here's a 2-2 pitch swing, a chopper down the line. Wallach bare hand throws, not in time.
Mike uncle. I think you're being wasted behind the plate, frankly.
I grew up with Harry Kalas. I love Harry Kalas.
I do too.
Unbelievable.
Meanwhile, Barry Bonds has got some work to do here. 5 outs. He hasn't hit one out of here yet.
You better find that groove very quickly.
Juan Lopez, bullpen coach of the Giants. And that's gone. Bonds on the board.
The guy, the gentleman does the games here is really funny. Fly away. Yeah. It's him there.
Back to right, back, gone.
Fly away. He's good. I like
Dave Niehaus does the
fly away.
This one, does it have enough juice to right? Yes, it does. So he's getting going, eating up here. Under that one. It's a tracker. It's quite. 6 outs now for Barry. How about in 2 years passing Winfield, Yastrzemski, Stargell, Musial, Gehrig, Murray, Ott, Matthews, Banks, Ted Williams, Willie McCovey in the last 2 years. How's that, guys?
Lap in the field.
Three outs to go. Luis Gonzalez looking on.
Sammy, a year ago, you went off in Boston in the home run, in Atlanta in the home run contest in the 2nd round. What's your strategy today?
Well, the strategy is that I have another opportunity. I changed the pitcher that was pitching to me, and we'll see what happens. I think I have a better idea now, and they only got to throw me strike.
So you changed your pitcher.
Yeah.
Why'd you change?
Because it was a little bit nasty, a little bit hard. But there's no excuses, so I have another chance. Let me see what's going on.
All right, Sammy's serious, guys. Back to you, Chris.
Here's Barry Bonds. Does this hold up enough? No, it does not. And so Barry Bonds is bested by Luis Gonzalez in semifinal number 1.
I'm too tired, dog.
I slipped in the back door. I don't know how.
No. I can't keep going like that.
Oh, man.
How about those 3 homers that he hit with 9 outs? Gonzalez, that puts him in the next round in the finals. Luis Gonzalez will play either Jason Giambi or Sammy Sosa in semifinal number 2. The locals here in Seattle will say the mountain is out. That's like 130 miles away, Mount Rainier. In my opinion, the most prettiest shot in the United States. And these shots above Safeco Field, thanks to the Budweiser.com airship. These live shots 1,000 feet above Seattle, 13,000 more feet, and you would be at the top of Mount Rainier, I might add. Hey, baseball fans, this Bud's for you. Thank you, guys. Luis Gonzalez beating Barry Bonds. A mild upset, but not a huge upset. And now we have Sammy Sosa and Jason Giambi. Would you call it a mild upset or a big upset, Joe?
Well, mild. I mean, he's only 4 home runs behind Barry, during the season. Barry has 39 and he has 35. Not a big difference there.
It's interesting, too, the way the first round works out. The slate's quite clean. Sammy here can get hot and almost not making the 2nd round. So, interesting format. I mean,
well, I like the thing that Sammy did. He changed pitchers.
Yeah.
Where we talked about how difficult the short arm pitcher was on Sammy the first time up, throwing him sinkers, and he couldn't get the ball elevated. Yeah. So he changed pitchers, and I wouldn't want to give Sammy a second chance because he got hot last year.
He said in his own words, that last guy, he's nasty.
Yeah, he's nasty. Yeah.
He's nasty.
I know what I got to do.
I got to matilo swing. Got to kill it. As Carlos Baerga used to say. I played with Carlos Baerga. He was so funny when you hit a home run. He goes, it's a matilo swing. He's an animal. He's an animal. He's the best.
Here's Jason Wayne. Now, he has sat for a long time after hitting all those home runs. It's going to be tight.
Yeah. Stay loose.
Over an hour. Ooh. That's a monster mash.
Man, that's high.
Oh, man, that was a Mount Rainier rainmaker.
Just tell by the sound. Like a tree in the woods. Felling a tree?
Yes.
Fell a tree?
Yep.
lumberjack country out here.
Well, there's some pretty tall evergreens up here. This is a beautiful part of the country. If no one has come to the Pacific Northwest, I know you feel that if you're in the East, boy, it's out of the way. Oh, it's unreal up here. The water, the Puget Sound, Mount Rainier, and Mount St. Helens, a little 1,500 feet shorter than it was when I was in high school, and we camped and climbed up there. But
wow. Imagine climbing that mountain and hear a few rumblings. We'd get off it pretty quick.
Sammy hit both cameras with that, by the way. No, I didn't hear any rumblings at the time, but maybe I caused it.
That's the mark, right? Australian rules football.
That was. Look at. That's good.
Little guy in the white hat comes out.
Yeah.
He's got the mock. All right, Jason, you've been sitting around for almost an hour. What have you been doing to try to keep loose?
Just standing in there, swinging the bat a little bit, trying to move around, so my back doesn't stiffen up or anything else.
Are you listening to these guys on the broadcast? You watching it on TV?
Yeah, I see what they're doing and stuff like that. But I've been sitting out here most of it watching and having a good time.
All right, it's a good thing he's not listening to you guys, Boomer.
Oh, we gave Jason his due.
We're giving him props. Straight up props.
They get cable here in Seattle, don't they? Tell you what, we'll sign him up first 3 months on us.
Now after the contest, give me that tape. Give me that tape, man.
So Sammy has 2 homers and 4 outs. Luis Gonzalez is in the finals. Who will meet him? Notice, and Sammy, and this one is to left center, sends it way back, and gone. I don't have the figures in front of me, but you know, Sammy hit 2 again yesterday in a loss to Detroit. He, more than anybody, I think, of the current players, I don't mean statistically, but it seems that when he hits one, he has a lot of 2-homer games.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was 48 or somewhere in that range. He's hit 46 times he's hit 2 or more.
I mean, I know McGuire's done more, but then again, he has more homers. But it seems like last few years, a lot of Sammy's homers come 2 at a time.
Yeah. Oh, God, he hits. It just hits
hard,
so
right?
hard, man. And, I mean, he is a living legend. I mean, you think of the numbers he's putting up. It's like.
And you know what, Mike? He's one of those guys that have gone the opposite. He's actually smaller now than he was, you know, a couple of years ago. A lot of the guys have gotten bigger, you know, lifting more weights, etc. But Sammy's actually gotten smaller.
Oh, the dead center field, way back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Off the batter's eye.
That's the first one we've seen.
Yeah,
that's straight away.
That's so far out there. I mean, just tremendous leverage. And as you said, you know, he's probably concentrating more on bat speed.
Right.
And you don't have to be huge to be quick. I mean, you generate as much bat speed as you can. That's the only way to hit the ball that hard. Strength is important, but it's only one of many things that make that happen.
About a few years ago, in addition to 66 ribbies, 66 homers, 158 RBIs.
Well, and we're back to the strength thing. I mean, people tell me all the time, well, the guys are bigger and stronger. I go, well, you know, if it was so easy to hit a baseball, then every Mr. Olympia contestant would have 60 home runs. I mean, it's only one of many things. I mean, strength definitely doesn't hurt, but you have to have hand-eye coordination, just, you know, proper thinking, knowing the pitchers, knowing how he's going to work you, knowing the situations. I mean, it's the toughest thing to do in sports.
No doubt about it. I tell you, the thing that amazes me is that the players today can hit for such high averages and hit the home runs. You know, in the past, it was the guy might hit 280 and hit 40 home runs. But now they likely hit 340 and hit, you know, 40 home runs. And that's tough to do. Man.
It's to right center, and it's
I think that
it's down the portal. James Ellis hoping for that $250,000 home.
Saying go, Sammy.
He's getting ready for his first barbecue.
Sammy with 5 now. Hit it to dead center, hit it to right center, hit it to left.
I'm going to make a prediction. If he has 2 more, I think he'll be in the finals. It's going to be tough for Giambi because he has sit around so long. Not that he's not capable, but he's sat so long. Man.
He's going to the same portal.
Man.
That's a scud. That's a scud right there. That is. It's great.
Put another shrimp on the Barbie, huh?
He's ready.
Well, he made the right choice in changing
Exactly.
pitchers.
Yeah, he did.
He got the good draw.
Sammy, the defending champion, won last
Sammy
year
can hit
at
that low pitch.
Right. Ooh.
Oh,
far as anybody.
back,
Yeah,
back.
And the high pitch.
Oh, this Squalmy. Well, there goes, he hit that all the way to the ferries. Do you hear that? Jeff Matuzis. The Diamondbacks. Sammy made the right call, as you say.
Yeah.
See ya. Oh, Sammy.
Sammy said, you cannot give me a second chance.
Exactly.
Well, he eked in with 3 in the first round, and that was, he said he wasn't happy with that.
He's going to wake up tomorrow and he's going to say, my hand really hurts. I don't know why. He just caught a scud off the bat of Sammy.
The last one went 444. Eight homers, 2 outs to go. Jason Giambi's going to have his work cut out for him.
Yeah, it's from the Diamondbacks.
How about being picky at the plate, too? I mean, he's defending his title. That's what Sammy's trying to do. This one won't quite make it. Last out, but Sammy's hung an 8 spot in his attempt to face Luis Gonzalez in the finals.
Great show, Sammy. Great show.
8 homers for Sammy Sosa in his bid to move on. Harold with Sammy again.
Sammy, you go out and you bring in a new pitching coach, Jeff Matuzis, the bullpen coach of the Arizona Diamondbacks. What was your philosophy? It looked like it worked, whatever it was.
Well, I think so. You know, never have excuses. But, you know, the first guy was kind of tough.
Well, you know what? You know what else? Now, Jeff throws also to Luis Gonzalez. So you're going to play it straight in the finals, or what's the deal here?
Yeah, this isn't personal between Sammy and Gonzo. This is going out letting the fans enjoy this whole day.
See how coy these Arizona guys are. Back to you and Boomer.
First place Diamondbacks. A good job by Sammy. Your basic 468 footer, huh? That was down to the ferry port, wasn't it? This is a this is a Moses Malone shot. Faux. Now here it is.
The promised land. Moses.
Faux.
Mo Cheeks. Andrew Toney.
Yeah. So Jason Giambi needs 8 to at least force a blast off. He's got his work cut out for him.
ESPN's presentation of the 2001 Century 21 Home Run Derby is brought to you by Century 21, real estate for the real world. And in part by Toyota. More choices, better selection. Experience Toyota today.
Whose ship will come in here in the finals? Luis Gonzalez is already there. Sammy Sosa has hung an 8 spot in his half of the bracket. Jason Giambi, who started with 4 outs, then hit 7 in a row to hit his record 14, besting the, well, almost legendary McGuire show at Fenway. And then there's the Cal show we were talking about at Toronto, and then a young McGuire in San Diego. First round, I think he had the landing on runway 2-3, I think, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Look at the way, the consistency and the groove that he got into. It's It's going to be tough to match. I mean, as you said, we all know he's been sitting around a little bit, so it's going to be interesting. See if he can get in the groove again.
Well, it's one of those situations where he probably will get off to a slow start and then get better as the at-bat advances.
Got the fireworks going already.
His home runs, how about this? His 14 home runs, we're told. If you add up the feet of all the, what was it, 5,670 feet, over a mile of home runs. Yikes.
Wow.
And Dave Valley on the mound again.
We were talking, Mike and I, see how Dave extends the ball up. He shows it to you very quickly. And the first time Sammy was facing the guy with short arm, you couldn't find the ball.
Sure.
And watch, he sits it right up there so you can see it all the way.
I love that, Joe. You're such a perfectionist. You're analyzing the batting practice pitches. That's why you're an Emmy Award.
And of course, Joe knows as well. In fact, catchers always throw great BP.
That's true. Well, that's what they do. They get the ball up behind your ear.
Exactly.
You know, you as a thrower, straight over the top.
Interesting to note, all those home runs that Giambi hit probably still wouldn't have gotten out of Bill Gates' house up there.
Well, he's going a little more to center field. There's that alley that Sammy found.
No.
He sat for an hour 25. I mean, he epitomized the Oakland A's. I mean, they're the best thing about watching him and the A's, it's like, and this one is out of here. It's gone. They're like a bunch of guys, like a softball team with a keg at every base. You know,
You're right.
I mean, they stop, fill up, keep running. I mean, they were great.
Bunch of lumberjacks.
Well, especially last year.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
And they've got a run in them. They just got over 500 over the weekend.
Well, their pitchers are starting to show what they're made of.
I guess in that division as well, you got to shoot for the wild card.
Yeah, that's
I would say so.
Yeah.
This is going to right center field. Bam. He just needs to find that groove. I mean, it's that simple. Gonzo is in. Will it be Sosa or Giambi?
Waiting in the wings.
That's exactly how he did it. And look at that homer. That's a mano mucho.
Mucha línea. Mátelo swing.
Well, that's exactly how he got into the groove before.
Yeah.
That last. There it is. Way back. Ooh, that one approached Bellevue. There it is. Does it stay fair? This is a rainmaker. Fair ball. Home run.
That one was closer to Bellevue.
Very good.
I played in the Northwest there. I remember my cities up there. Everett.
Oh, yeah. This is back on. Jason Giambi is now in the zone. Will you announce it?
Great contest there.
This is great. Does this stay fair? Just foul.
What's up?
Joe, that calf muscle feeling better, huh?
I think it only bothers him to run. It doesn't bother him to swing this bat. He's swinging it.
Yes, now remember, if he goes ahead, he doesn't have to keep on putting on a show.
Well, at this point, he still needs 3 more and 3 outs.
Yeah.
So he still has a ways to go.
It's like match play in golf. Just pick up.
I like it. Right. That's going to be
Walk him in from the 15th hole.
That's a gimme.
Yeah.
It's 20 feet downhill.
He's won his semifinal 2-1.
Exactly.
All right, just 2 outs left. Jason needs 2 to force what we would call a blast off. Does this have enough height? So now, Giambi down to 1 out. Matamucha.
I love Sammy.
He's the best.
I mean, he has fun, and that's what it's all about.
Thank you.
That's fun. He's serious between the lines. He plays hard, but as you said,
this is
Sammy and Luis.
6 would have been enough to beat Gonzalez, but Jason Giambi, 14 plus 6 is 20, but it's not enough to get him into the finals. But what a great performance he put on, huh? Reynolds.
Well, Jason, you didn't make it to the finals, but what an exhibition you put on that first round. Absolutely incredible. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I was honored to be in it, and just couldn't put enough, Sammy. I knew he was laying in the weeds.
You know, you've come a long ways in a couple home run contests. The first one, you really struggled. You're starting to get that experience now.
Oh, definitely. You know, you get that cage away from you, and, you know, guys throwing in that crowd, get that heart pumping, and makes a big difference.
All right, best luck to you in the All-Star game on Tuesday night. Boomer, back up to you.
All right, Harold, thank you. Great job by Jason Giambi. And I tell you what, this portends very well for the A's in the second half if they get the big fella going. Oh, look at that.
That's using your entire body, your legs and your upper body.
He knocked the Dungeness crab out of that ball. So Sammy Sosa and Luis Gonzalez will face off in the finals when we return to Safeco. Luis Gonzalez and Sammy Sosa are in the finals. Fittingly, 2 guys from first place ball clubs. The first place Diamondbacks, the first place Cubs. 2 National Leaguers here in an American League park. As you look at downtown Seattle, this is James Ellis from Knoxville, Tennessee, an eyeglass maker. He's hoping that Sammy Sosa wins it, and he'll win a $250,000 home, and he won't need glasses to see it. Then here's Luis Gonzalez's man, Tommy Knepp from Potter's Mill, PA. Potter's Mills, PA. I think that's out by Arnie.
It could be. The Gibsoni area.
Works in advertising and brochures for local fairs. And so those guys, one of those 2 will come away with a home. Courtesy of Century 21.
Guy who makes eyeglasses wants Sammy to focus in.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
That's I'm trying.
Why not?
All right. So you got to break a few eggs in the omelet.
I get a. Very good. So Luis Gonzalez will hit first. And you know what's impressive? I mean, I know these are the finals and everything, but a lot of folks have been out here since 2. The gates opened at 1:30. It's been hot. It's now dinner to 7 o'clock, but even the farthest seats up here, I mean, there's some people that have left, but not many.
Top rows are filled still. It's
pretty
great.
Full.
It's an awesome event, and I think this event has become just as fun as a game for the fans.
Well, I think this is actually a part of a game. This is part of the game.
Absolutely.
I mean, most guys, when they take batting practice, the last round, or you challenge someone to a home run derby. I mean, that's what happens in batting practice almost every day in the Major League field.
Yeah. I mean, Todd Zeal, myself, and Robbie Ventura, we always have this total bases game where, home runs 4 points, double, then you have a judge, and it gets pretty heated, and you have a lot of fun with it.
I used to beat up on Pete Rose every day in the long ball contest.
You didn't take out
I
George.
didn't challenge Bench.
You didn't challenge Foster, did you? George Foster?
No, I didn't challenge those guys. I challenged Pete.
Or Cesar Geronimo.
Or Davey. Meanwhile, Luis Gonzalez looking to get that struggle. I mean, it's hard to get up 3 times and slug away, huh?
Well, fatigue does come into it because your bat speed slows. I mean, you only have so many good swings in you a day.
Here it goes, way back to right, and Luis Gonzalez is Gonzo on the board. He wants this again, huh? goes again to right. Here's the stroke. Home run number.
Just another upper deck shot.
Here it goes. Yikes. A quick 4 spot. Oh my goodness gracious. This is way up there. Foul ball. And this one will be a little bit foul. Luis Gonzalez.
There he is.
Cuban immigration, Tampa, Florida, grew up, as we told you before. He is one of the nicest guys on any roster. And obviously he's become one of the best players in the game.
He is funny.
This is deep right field, and it's gone for Gonzalez. Look at this, fellas. That's like exactly the same spot. Huh?
Yeah, it's the best for the...
That's pretty good in your third round to hit 6. He's hit 5, 5, and 6. Harold Reynolds.
All right, Louis. Came on with a big onslaught right there. How important is it to be familiar with the pitching guy that's throwing to you right now?
It's good. It's exciting for me to bring 2s. He's been throwing to me for the last 3 years. But to be honest with you, I never even expected to be here in this spot. So this is a lot of fun.
Okay, Boomer, back to you.
All right, Harold, Luis, good job. Well, you can see how he hits 35 home runs. So Sammy knows. The number is 6. Look at that face. He wants it bad. We are back. And coming up next, Celebrity Softball. Harold Reynolds manages the lattes. Kenny Mayne manages the espressos. Meatloaf is out there. Baseball legend Freddie Lynn, Kenny Mayne's daring outfield play. That's next. But right now, it's Sammy Sosa. Won last year in Atlanta, hitting monstrous shots to the transformer in dead center field. Sammy started slowly, kind of got in on a tiebreaker with just 3, but had 8 in his second round. Now Luis Gonzalez got going with a 6th spot. And Sammy, who has the 3rd, 4th, and 5th longest home runs today, 468, 467, and 462, the 2 longest by Barry Bonds. And look at that, Waveland Avenue in Seattle.
It makes him feel right at home.
Thank you.
Can you get the same wings out there? That's what I want to know.
We're working on it.
We'll try. We'll go out there and try.
So remember, the same pitcher to Luis Gonzalez. Jeff Matuzis. The Twos.
I don't know if we'll ever hear the end of it from Louis. If he,
well, especially if he goes back to Arizona.
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
When we get back.
There has to be a little loyalty thing here. As Jeff said.
Hey, we'll know if Sammy gets to 6 and he drops a slide piece on it down the way.
Tries to turn it over, a little two-seamer. Chokes it a little bit. Does that Johnny Padres window shade change?
Too far under this one for Sammy.
Remember, I was hitting in the minor leagues with Dodgers. Johnny Padres was still there. He said, "Yeah, I'm going to throw you a changeup." I said, "I'm going to way back, take it away." And I still chopped it down the third base line. He told you it was coming, and you still were out in front with that arm action.
It was James Ellis you saw a moment ago. The eyeglass maker from Knoxville, Tennessee. Can he win a home? And Sammy win one for him?
Sammy's got to get hot here. I mean,
Sammy's got to work on the home all at once. Just build it room by room.
Exactly. Foundation first.
Jason gave us a show, didn't he?
I have to tell you, I'm thinking, I'm lobbying for changing the rules. Jason Giambi hit more home runs than anyone. He hit 20 home runs. Yeah. And the closest to him was Sammy with 11. I just think that the guy that hits the most in one round should be automatically in the finals. I'm going to make that suggestion.
Well, you know what, Joe? Yeah. We've given you a national forum.
Thank you. I'm making that suggestion.
I like it.
He set a record for single round. He should be in the finals.
Why not? Instead, he's
tired.
Yeah, watch it.
He's just tired.
Hang with him.
Yeah, hang with him.
See you at the gala tonight.
Sammy's got 1, and he's halfway to 10 outs.
Yeah.
Well, one of the men we talked about at the start of the show was the quietest 35 home run first half season we can remember. I mean, Luis Gonzalez with 246 total bases. Yet he doesn't get the pub. And here he is, just continuing in the home run derby.
I think he's playing possum for everybody.
Well, he likes that. I mean, he says he's a quiet guy. He likes to be able to just go out and do his thing without all the fanfare around him. Yeah.
Are you looking forward tomorrow night, Michael, to Sonia Sosa trying to record some home runs? Looking forward tomorrow night to catching Schilling and Johnson and whoever's going to throw to you?
I'm excited. I think this is I've always enjoyed these games. I'll never get tired of coming. I'd like to thank the fans for letting me in. I mean, as long as I'm either elected or selected, I think it's great to go.
And I think you should be commended because, I mean, it would be easy for you to say you had the bad toe and sit out over the next few days and rest at home. But it is a fans game, and you should be concerned with the fans.
They want to see you play. It's a great event.
Right.
Well, we're glad that not only you play in that, you enjoy hanging with us.
This is why I really come. Hang out with you guys.
Well, Sammy's going to have to get awfully hot.
Yes, he is.
Ooh, he's sitting pretty right here. Yeah. Sammy's got to get into a groove. Darn.
There goes
my pad is sleeping away.
Location.
Exactly. Oh, man.
He'd already decorated a couple of rooms.
Too bad.
Gonzalez hit 5. He hit 5, and he hit 6, and he's on the edge, the verge, maybe walking away with this thing.
Oh my God, I can't believe it.
Well, he's got it. Okay, we're already firing up the grill over there. All right, picky. Well, oh, man. Talk about a top spin forehand.
Scrape the top of the wall.
Oh, man. Well, staying alive is Sosa.
He's got to wait for the perfect pitch.
I see.
That looked like a slide.
Yeah, it might have been a little slide piece right there.
Uh-oh. Well, Sosa has made his 10th out, and that will mean that Luis Gonzalez has won the Century 21 Home Run Derby. Century 21 Home Run Derby champion for the Arizona Diamondbacks, Luis Gonzalez. And there, Tommy Knapp from Potter's Mills, PA, wins the $250,000 home, and Luis Gonzalez is the man that furnished it. Harold Reynolds.
Luis, congratulations, first of all. This is becoming a pretty incredible year for you.
I tell you what, this is awesome. I mean, see all the other guys in this home run derby, and I didn't expect myself to be in here in this situation, but I'm having a blast out here.
Well, let me hit you with another shocker since you didn't know this. Tommy Knapp right over here, Century 21. You just won him a house worth $250,000. The winner of the Century 21 sweepstakes. Tommy, what do you think of Louis?
Look at all super. Just, it's got to be incredible. Incredible. I appreciate it. Happy.
All right. Well, Louis, you bring the guy to tears with a home run. How great a feeling is that?
Well, it makes me feel good. I mean, he gets a new house out of everything, and I'm happy. Everybody's happy, hopefully. And this is a great crowd out here, man. Seattle is, all the players are excited to be here. This is an awesome town, and we're hoping to have a good time out here this weekend.
All right, well, we got a few people we need to introduce and present you with the trophy. First of all, as you're shaking hands with Commissioner Bud Selig, the Commissioner of Baseball.
Congratulations, Lewis. Boy, you put on quite a performance today, and you're the new champion, and you made everybody here very happy today. Thank you.
And from Century 21, I want to introduce the President, Van Davis, and Steve Serrano, the Executive VP of Marketing for Century 21. Congratulations to you all. Louis, congratulations to you, and you made a dream come true. Boomer, back to you.
All right, Harold, and congratulations, Luis, and congratulations, Tommy Neck. Joe Morgan, I mean, you talked about Luis Gonzalez in the beginning, and he's just in a year-long groove, isn't he?
Well, I think we go back to what Mike and I were talking about earlier. It's a game of skill, not so much of strength, because he may not be the strongest guy that was in the contest today, but he showed that he has the skills to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Well, Mike Piazza, it's always great of you to join us. Luis, and is he going to be big man walking around that locker room
cat's
tomorrow?
out of the bag now. He hasn't fooled me for years. I always knew his ability, and this event just typified what he's all about and how much he has improved.
Again, we really thank you for joining us.
Thank
right,
you.
Joe? Isn't it fun to hang
Always
with Mike?
a pleasure.
Next year, we expect a new hairstyle from him.
All right.
Luis Gonzalez has won our 2001 Century 21 Home Run Derby. Joe Morgan, Mike Piazza, Harold Reynolds, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Chris Berman. Hope you've enjoyed it here in Seattle. It's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Log on to ESPN.com for more.